Goldie Hawn wasn't just a star, she was a phenomenon. A burst of sunshine who lit up Hollywood with a laugh that felt like home. Born on November 21, 1945 in Washington, D.C., she grew up far from the glitz, raised in a modest Presbyterian family with dreams bigger than her surroundings. Her mother, Laura, ran a jewelry shop, while her father, Edward, played violin in a band, filling their home with music and ambition. Goldie was a performer from the start, twirling through ballet and tap dance classes by age 3, her energy impossible to contain. By 16, she was teaching dance, already a hustler with a sparkle that turned heads. But it wasn't just talent, it was grit. She worked as a go-go dancer in New York City, performing in smoky clubs, chasing a stage that felt like hers. That hustle led her to Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1968, where her bubbly charm and quick wit made her America's sweetheart at 23. The world fell in love with her giggle, her wide-eyed charm, and the way she seemed to float through chaos with effortless grace. Hollywood came calling, and Goldie answered with a bang. Her role in Cactus Flower in 1969 earned her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress at 24, a rare feat that cemented her as more than a comedic darling. Through the 1970s and 80s, she dominated with hits like Private Benjamin, Foul Play, and Overboard, blending humor with heart in a way no one else could. She wasn't just acting, she was building an empire, co-founding her own production company and proving women could call the shots in a male-driven industry. Off-screen, her life was just as vibrant. She married musician Bill Hudson in 1976, welcoming kids Kate and Oliver, who'd later shine as stars themselves. After their divorce, she found lasting love with Kurt Russell in 1983. Their partnership becoming one of Hollywood's most enduring together, they raised a blended family, including son Wyatt, balancing fame with a grounded warmth that felt almost too perfect. But perfection was a mask. Behind the megawatt smile, Goldie carried scars, industry pressures, personal betrayals, and the weight of being reduced to a dumb blonde, despite her savvy. She poured her heart into advocacy, founding the Hawn Foundation in 2003 to promote youth mental health, a cause born from her own battles with anxiety. By 79, she'd lived 1,000 lives, dancer, actress, producer, mother, icon. Yet, beneath the joy she radiated, there was pain, moments of disrespect, and slights from colleagues she never forgot. Goldie Hawn, the woman who made us believe in Hollywood magic, hid a secret list of 6 actors she couldn't stand. They called her sweetheart, then stabbed her in the back. When you hear who they are, you'll understand the hurt she buried behind that golden glow. Number 1. Bill Murray, the public shaming that drove Goldie away. Topping Goldie Hawn's Blacklist is Bill Murray, not for a single clash, but for a moment etched in her memory. It was meant to be a breezy table read for a late 1980s comedy. Pairing America's darling with comedy's loose cannon seemed perfect on paper, but it unraveled fast. Murray showed up an hour late, brash, unkempt, and unapologetic, tossing his nearly empty coffee cup onto the script and declaring, "Let's get this going." Goldie locked eyes with him, sensing trouble. As the read began, she delivered her lines with charm and ease. Murray cut her off mid-scene, smirking, "Ever tried acting like you've done serious roles?" The room's men roared with laughter. Goldie didn't flinch. She shut her script, stood, and left without a sound. Her silence spoke volumes. The next day, her team told producers Goldie Hawn was done, no public fuss. She simply walked away. "He thinks chaos is brilliance," she later confided to a friend. "I find it draining." That moment shifted her path. She steered clear of erratic talents who masked cruelty as art, ditched male-driven comedies, and chose calm over conflict. Years later, asked about working with Murray, her answer was cool and final. "No thanks." Number 2. Warren Beatty, the snub that sparked his vengeance. It began with one word: no. That's all it took for Warren Beatty, Hollywood's reigning charmer, to turn on Goldie Hawn. In the late 1970s, at the peak of his stardom, Beatty set his sights on her. He invited her to dinners, exclusive gatherings, then his Beverly Hills estate. Everyone knew the implications, but Goldie stood her ground, gracious, warm, and resolute. His charm evaporated. Suddenly, opportunities dried up. Scripts she'd been offered vanished. Directors who'd been eager went quiet. A producer whispered, "Beatty's calling you tough to work with, not for serious roles." It was a subtle, ruthless campaign. "He doesn't take rejection," Goldie later shared. "He retaliates." Those 6 words captured it all. Her simple refusal fueled a grudge that shadowed her through the early 1980s. Beatty's clout was immense, and he wielded it coldly. Goldie never called him out publicly. She let time speak. But at an awards gala years later, fate brought them face to face. Beatty, all smiles, leaned in to chat. Goldie met his gaze, flashed a polite smile, and turned away mid-sentence. That gesture said everything. Number 3. Dustin Hoffman, the audition that crushed her trust. Third on Goldie's hidden list is a name that surprises. Dustin Hoffman, hailed as a master, but to her something else. Their clash wasn't whispers or rumors, it was raw humiliation. In the early 1980s, Goldie sought to shed her comedic image. She'd made millions laugh. Now she wanted to move them. Producers invited her to audition opposite Hoffman for a high-profile drama. It promised sparks, but not the kind anyone hoped for. Mid-read, Hoffman stopped cold, stared at her, then told the producers, "She's still doing sitcom shtick." The words stung like a blow. Goldie stayed composed, finished the scene with precision, thanked them, and left before anyone could speak. The next day, she told her agent, "I'm done. I won't beg for respect from men who've already written me off." She never collaborated with Hoffman again. Later reflecting, she said, "Some men think they can direct the women in their lives." That line was her quiet comeback. Hoffman thought he'd exposed her limits. He only revealed his own ego. Goldie moved on. Number 4. Chevy Chase, the on-set ego that ended their bond. How bad was it? Goldie Hawn once told a confidant, "If I have to fake a smile near Chevy Chase again, I'll leave Hollywood." That's how deep the rift ran, landing him 4th on her list. In 1978, foul play seemed like a golden ticket. Goldie was the nation's sweetheart, Chevy, comedy's rising star. On screen, they sparkled. Off-screen, it was a disaster. Chevy strode onto set like he owned it, mocking lines, rewriting gags, and derailing scenes. If Goldie got bigger laughs, he'd sulk for hours, muttering, "She's just lucky to be here." Goldie tried to keep things upbeat, joking and diffusing tension, but it wore her down. One night, after another spat over a scene, Chevy stormed off, refusing to return until the director revised it. Goldie sat on the set steps, drained, whispering to her stylist, "He's not funny off camera, he's just cruel." By wrap, they couldn't even make eye contact. The studio pushed for a sequel, offering millions. Goldie didn't waver. "Not interested," she told her agent. That was final. Number 5. Sean Penn, the gala slight that lingered. By the time Goldie reached the 5th name on her secret list, she thought she'd seen every shade of Hollywood arrogance. Sean Penn proved her wrong. This wasn't a set dispute or private feud. It was a public jab, delivered under glittering lights at a 2014 Malibu charity gala. Goldie was there to give a heartfelt speech on mental health, a cause close to her heart. As she spoke, the room hushed, except for Penn. From his table, he sighed loudly, rolled his eyes, and muttered, "Another celebrity preaching wellness." When her speech ended to warm applause, Penn leaned back, smirked, and said, loud enough for others to hear, "She's better at giggling." Goldie didn't react. She smiled, raised her glass, and left early in the car. She finally spoke. "My whole life's work, and I'm still just the giggle girl." That moment drew a line. She refused to attend events if Penn was invited. Asked about him later, her response was brief. "Not my vibe." She wasn't bitter, she was done. Number 6. Kirk Douglas, the icon who diminished her. The final name on Goldie Hawn's list might surprise you. Not a rival or brash comic, but Kirk Douglas, a Hollywood titan. It began at a late 1990s industry panel. Goldie, an Oscar winner and producer, was there as a powerhouse. Kirk, a living legend, greeted her with a charming grin, kissed her hand, and said, "You're as lovely as ever, darling." The crowd chuckled. Goldie smiled, but it stung. During the panel, Kirk cut her off 3 times, finishing her points, correcting her, and stealing the spotlight. The moderator later said you could sense her frustration. She went from warm to ice. Afterward, Goldie told a friend, "He treats me like I'm still the blonde in a beach scene. I've got an Oscar." That said it all. She stayed close with Michael Douglas, whom she called a true gentleman, but Kirk's name never crossed her lips again. "Some men," she said softly, "don't earn a place in your story." The cruelest twist? Kirk never knew he'd made her list. Now you know the pain behind Goldie's golden smile. Which of these 6 names stunned you most? Was Goldie right to keep quiet all these years, or should she have called them out sooner? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more untold Hollywood secrets.